Hey folks, okay, I was push the work away here. I was going to work, and I said, what story can I tell them? We're gonna go fishing this morning. Fishing up in Quebec. For those of you that are familiar with the area, be around Danford. You can look it up on the Google map. Danford area, and it's the river. We're gonna float the river in a canoe. The river is called the Kazabajowa River, and we're gonna float from Danford to Kazabajowa. I'm gonna tell you, you gotta promise not to tell no one, eh? There's one spot, okay? It's in time, okay, with the canoe just floating down the river. It's about 2 hours from Danford, and we used to go up the Kazabajowa up from Danford, but now they have it all blocked off, eh? I don't know if that's legal or not, eh? Like in this province, people tend to stretch the law. Like this land, I don't think it's owned by anybody, but somebody maybe acquired the first lot, and this road used to be in there, and you'd be able to go hunt or fish. Here I am. Fish up on the river, and then now the one guy blocked it off. He put a gate controlling people to so that they don't have access. I could name the name and even tell you who he is, but then that would serve no purpose other than somebody hate him for nothing. Well, not for nothing. He's something else happened one time. This guy, I'm gonna tell you who he is. Okay, he's the plumber. Well, used to be. Okay, that's we're going back 40-some years ago. He's a plumber in Danford Lake. We had a bit of a interpretation. Not the right name. Little stint. Got to the guns, really. But anyways, that's not today's story, okay? Today's story is I'm telling you a spot on the river, okay? It's about an hour and a half, 2 hours from Danford, floating on the river. One place there's a beaver dam, okay? And now that I think of it, I wonder how come the beaver dam, the beaver house is on the far side of the beaver dam. Usually it's the opposite. Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, so we'd shoot the beaver dam. Yeah, it wasn't the first time we were there, eh? So we knew as this river meanders, eh? Just like I meander, eh? And the river meanders, and then we know after that certain crook in the river, we really have to paddle because we want to shoot right over the beaver dam. The beaver dam, oh, there's about a 3-foot drop from one side to the other, and we shoot that with the canoe. It was a fiberglass, 16-foot fiberglass canoe. It's about the same looks as the one I have at the camp is made out of aluminum, but the one we had then was a fiberglass one, and we used to shoot the beaver dam with that. And when you'd get on top of the beaver dam, well, we had the stuff like our lunch and the pack sack and the fishing box in the canoe, and ourselves. So we weren't traveling light. That canoe would be cracking when I go over the dam. But right on the other side, there was if you ever want to go to the same spot, it's on the right hand side of the river, okay? Get off with the canoe right after the dam, because the house is right there. Well, you'll see it when you get there. And okay, I'm gonna tell you the setup on the lines, eh? You can here's that hat thing again. An ultra light line, okay, with just a little spinner, and then a small number 4 hook, long hook, and you put a little worm, not a big worm, those big grass worms, a manure worm, like a real slinky one. Put that on the small hook there, and you cast out, eh? Well, you'll be able to catch maybe 3-4 trout if they're biting, like usual, 3-4, and then you'll be able, if you and another guy like me and my buddy, we would catch about 10-12 each, and then it'd stop biting. Trout are like that, eh? When I guess when they see that too many of their friends leave, they figure it out, eh? But like this, they're like brook trout, eh? Frying pan sized trout, eh? They were good. You put that in the butter and lard in the cast iron pan there. You put about that much, and then you cook them, eh? And anyways, and that in the morning, eh? An egg or 2 eggs. A few trout, and some potatoes, eh? And I'm almost tempted to go in the house, but I don't have no trout. Anyways, so that was one of the most productive spots we ever have for brook trout. Maybe someday I'll tell you another spot for lake trout, but today we're dealing with brook trout, and this was the most productive spot. But okay, now we keep going on the river, because another story just come to mind, eh? Well, that wasn't a big highlight, eh? And I'm not showing you in the map, but you figure it out. You'll see a crook in the river, like on Google Earth there. You'll see a crook in the river, and then you'll see this beaver dam. That's the spot right after the beaver dam. Yeah. Hey, the plumber there, okay? One time on the river, we got off, and we're on the edge of the river. We're fishing, hey? We got our lines cast out. It's a pool, eh? Well, this friendly guy, I was gonna say something, but this guy, the plumber, Danford Lake plumber, he comes with his 4-wheel drive truck, eh? And he starts giving us. Anyways, I don't want to start. Okay, wait. We keep going down the river, right? So we end up. We're late in the afternoon. We got somebody after supper around 7 o'clock's going to pick us up in Casbajou at the bridge, but there's a long piece to go, eh? So we're paddling sometimes, eh? And we end up. It's a spot, okay, on the river that. It's close. There's a little lake. It's they call that Mud Lake. Okay, you'll see that on the map too. Mud Lake, and on the river, we end up at a spot, and we happen to see there's a military tent pitched up, maybe 40 feet from the So we parked the boat on the side, and then we seen these milk cans, the metal ones, and they're buried in the mud on the side of the river. So we open one up, and there's spaghetti and food in there, meat. I'm wondering what's going on, eh? So we go, and then we go snoop around. There was nobody there, eh? But there was 2 tents, military tents, and it seemed somebody was living there. I don't know, maybe somebody that was, I was going to say escaping the law. Not really. Maybe somebody that was just out of luck, you know, and on its last mile. He found a place to stay, and where nobody would bother them. This, I think, was Crown land. So, and what we seen that there was a trail on the other side of the river. They'd crossed, the river was shallow, and it was a rocky bottom. At that time of the year, at the most, it was maybe a foot of water, and you could cross from one side to the other. And on the other side, there was a trail. You'd just go for a little piece, and there was a place where they were cultivating and had built a garden. So it's just something that we found on our travels. We found a lot of other stuff. We found a place where there was an old bridge. That bridge must have been, sure, around 100 years old. It was like there was a pillar in the middle of the bridge, like stacked logs, round logs, okay, with rocks inside, and then there was 2 sides to this bridge, and both sides, one side was gone altogether, and the other side was the side that wasn't so deep. The water was just shallow there, and it was kind of muddy, and that had fallen into the river, and it was just there, like sitting there, and the deck was all around stuff too, on that, and all it had was, you could tell all it had was maybe 2 planks where the tires would run, or tires or wheels, probably horse drawn, because it didn't look like that strong that you could have rode the width of the river to. I don't think you could have driven a vehicle across. Maybe just horses and drawn buggy, and maybe they'd use that in the old days to go draw wood out of the forest. I don't know. Sometimes when you're exploring, like you find some good stuff, and wow, in those days we used to think it was interesting. Now that I think of it, it was just old stuff in the forest. Well, and like there was nothing around there, where that bridge was. So people prior to us, and that was in the 60s. So people prior to us going there, you could tell some had traveled there and done things. But anyways. Just some little tidbits, people living along the river, out of luck people, and the good fishing spot. If you ever go there, don't tell no one about the spot, there surely will be the better ones. Yeah, let's get back to that one. The better ones are yet to come. It's just, I'm gonna start working pretty soon, but right now we're still in the holiday spirit, Okay, folks, don't forget, comments are welcome, and I try to give non-generic answers, and we'll see you in the next one.